See this video? You may think it's incredible, but this is a real event that happened in Jiangxi Province, Taiyuan City on June 9, 2022. The monitoring of this scene captured a shocking show. A man was sitting in a chair when in the ground underneath there suddenly appeared a large pit. The man thought quickly and stepped away from the edge of the hole. He fell backwards on the ground in order to not fall into the pit. The man was scared to get up. Looking at the deep pit terrified him. On October 29, 2023, in Jilin, Guangdong Province, a Chinese mother stretched by pulling on a stone fence with both hands, her head swinging to the left and right occasionally. The stone railing suddenly snapped while she was bending back, and she fell with it, even as it rolled back several meters. Ironically, the local Municipal Engineering Maintenance Management Center explained that the stone railing wouldn't fail without pulling. But have you ever seen a stone railing that breaks when pulled? There's something even funnier. The video shows a man strolling along a guardrail along a creek when suddenly a section of the guardrail breaks off after his hand touches it, and he falls into the river. In China, roads, bridges, buildings, and other structures have frequently collapsed, causing countless tragedies. These collapses are often due to poor construction quality, such as jerry building or poor safety inspections, which have resulted in substandard construction known as Tofu-dreg construction. This episode takes a look at some of the collapse accidents that have occurred in China in recent years and analyzes the reasons behind them. On August 19, 2020, the road surface of Yinlong Plaza collapsed in Yibin, Sichuan Province. 21 cars parked on the roadside were instantly swallowed up and all fell into the deep pit, after which 15 of them were pulled out by cranes. The collapsed pit was soon flooded, and there was a lot of water coming out of the road. On August 3, 2023, under the influence of heavy rainfall, the Heim Highway in Heilongjiang Province collapsed, and the car recorder captured the shocking moment of the fall. A white sedan was driving normally, but it didn't realize that the road ahead had collapsed, and it couldn't brake enough to stop from falling into the pit. On-site video shows 2 cars falling into the water from the collapse. A black car, the front has been submerged, and another white car turned over and was submerged. On July 6, 2023, part of the bridge deck of Sichuan's Enguang Highway broke without warning, causing 2 moving vehicles to fall into a several-meter deep crevice and quickly catch fire. Staff from the Sichuan Provincial Department of Transportation said that rain caused the mountain near the bridge to collapse, and the boulders impacted the bridge piers, causing the bridge deck to partially collapse. It was emphasized that this was a natural disaster and had nothing to do with the quality of the work. Many netizens queried that the boulders couldn't be seen in the video, so who could believe that a rainstorm could cause the highway to collapse? But wasn't there a quality problem? On April 29, 2023, a residential building collapsed in Changsha, Hebei Province, killing 54 people as a huge cloud of dust rose and debris piled 2 stories high. According to nearby merchants, the building was originally 6 stories, and in 2018, an addition was added on top to increase it to 8 stories, with restaurants, hotels, and tenants on all floors. The building had multiple warnings before it collapsed. The landlord had seen the deformation of the reinforcing bars of the supporting roof getting more and more serious, but he had been letting it go, and there was no response to the tenants' complaints. What's even more outrageous is that on April 12th, the owner of a hotel in the building, in order to meet the local public security requirements to continue business, commissioned Hunan Xingda Engineering Inspection Company Limited to carry out housing safety identification. The company had 2 people on the scene, a person downstairs to collect money and another person with a camera upstairs to take pictures. It took 8 hours to complete the so-called on-site inspection of 31 households, and through copying and pasting, fabrication of data, fraudulent signatures, and other means, the engineers signed off that the building was safe. This false report caused 54 people to lose their lives, which is tantamount to murdering people for money. In July 2023, the roof of a gymnasium of the 34th Middle School in Qiqihar, Heilongjiang Province collapsed, killing 11 people, including 10 female high school students and a volleyball coach. After the accident, officials hid the deaths and suppressed the parents. The video released by the angry parents of the students has sparked strong outrage in the community. Let's take a look at the recent Tofu-dreg construction collapse in China. At 7 a.m. on November 18th, a skating rink in the city of Baicheng, Jilin suddenly collapsed. Video footage circulating on the internet showed that the entire roof of the building had disappeared, and the rising smoke and dust clouds could be seen from hundreds of meters away. According to China's Southern Weekend, the 4,369 square meter skating rink, which opened in December 2019, had become an important place for many Baicheng residents to play ball games and relax. Fortunately, the accident occurred early in the morning and only 2 janitors suffered minor bruises. Ironically, the arena had been listed as an important municipal project by local officials at the beginning of its construction. The total cost of the professional ice skating rink amounted to 52.06 million yuan, or about $7.18 million US, and the municipal government even emphasized that quality comes first and safety is the top priority. However, it took less than 5 years for the building to collapse. The report pointed out that the skating rink was constructed by Jilin Rongfa Construction Engineering Company Limited, but industrial and commercial data show that the number of participants in the company's 2023 Industrial and Commercial Annual Report was only 22. This is a 60-meter long and 60-meter wide building with only a roof and no columns in the middle. When constructing such a large span building, the quality of construction is very high. If there are any minor defects in the construction, a series of chain reactions may occur due to the defects, resulting in the steel frame structure of the roof not being able to meet its original weight, and the chain reaction will result in an instantaneous collapse. The basic information we've received shows that the collapse was related to construction factors. Local people believe that the ice skating rink has serious construction quality problems, and that the construction company's layers of subcontracting corruption are serious. There was no blizzard or other extreme weather at the time of the incident. It's purely a Tofu-dreg project. They are people with backgrounds and connections in the central authorities and provincial and municipal authorities. They layer subcontracting projects subcontracting to the end that the construction team was the least capable of ensuring the quality of completion, so they had to jerry-build. The government departments concerned also understand the matter of jerry-building. Because they've been bribed, they can't solve the problem. The responsibility for everything lies with the central authorities, and the ultimate victims are the ordinary people. Accidents happen not only in official projects, but also in private units, which is even more outrageous. November 15th, the floor of a supermarket in the Guangdu district of Kunming collapsed. The supermarket straddled a river. At the time of the accident, a mother surnamed Zhu was shopping at the supermarket with her 12-year-old daughter. However, less than 5 minutes after they entered the store, they felt the ground shaking violently. The supermarket floor suddenly collapsed, and the mother and daughter fell into the river below, where they were crushed by a large amount of falling goods. Suddenly, the whole thing collapsed, and I thought for sure I was going to die, and the container buried us in it, and it was full of water, and I held my daughter tightly and screamed for help. Shockingly, when the incident occurred, the supermarket had just opened for the 6th day, and the store was asked whether it involved illegal structures and how to deal with the problem, but the owner didn't give a reply. After the incident came to light, it triggered a large number of netizens to discuss. Kunming Guangdu district is full of illegal constructions, and too many Tofu-dreg constructions. Why are there so many Tofu-dreg projects in China? First, construction materials are fake. Fake goods are prevalent in China, including fake food, certificates, and news. Construction materials are no exception. Even steel bars are fake. Take a look at this video uploaded by a netizen. Steel bars can be wrapped around the hand like a rope. The skeleton of these buildings made of reinforced steel bars are swaying, and the steel bars can be broken with one hand. Can people live in a building completed with such building materials? I took down a few steel bars from the construction site, and they look good from the outside. But you can see that they can be bent by hand. And when you break them, they break. I will show you another one. It breaks when you touch it. It's a fake rebar. Second, collapses are frequent and government incompetence is to blame. On November 24th, according to a Voice of America report, Water Conservancy engineering expert Wang Wei Liu, living in Germany, also said that a few days ago, the White City skating rink collapsed, and the most likely reason is that the quality of the steel used wasn't satisfactory. Previously, a German project ran into trouble because it used poor quality steel imported from China, resulting in the bridge bending out of shape. Wang Wei Liu also said that the entire social management system collapsed and the government function failed. The construction of the public skating rink requires the local city government from the National Development and Reform Commission to various urban construction units to review and check it one by one. In the final analysis, it's difficult not to doubt that it was because of corruption and the exploitation of project funds at all levels that the project was finally allowed to pass. The construction quality is so low. He also said that in May this year, the State Council of China announced, in collaboration with a number of other ministries, the completion of the first national natural disaster comprehensive risk census report. At that time, it was claimed that more than 2.6 million people were mobilized to investigate urban and rural housing and construction of 354 million buildings. Although they have a clear understanding of the nation's housing and municipal construction, they can't prevent the collapse of these buildings in the absence of an obvious natural disaster situation. The Chinese government thinks that they built the most complete database of buildings in the world, checking especially on safety, for example, which buildings are unsafe. But it has never published this data, so it can't do anything to prevent such collapses. Third, serious corruption of Chinese Communist Party officials. A report by Radio Free Asia also said that Gong Zeshen, a YouTube current affairs channel host based in Toronto, Canada, believes that the core issue behind the incident is corruption. It has been an open secret for many years that many officials and manufacturers in China have been subcontracting projects for profit. What is most serious is that in the past it was said that because of jerry building and water leakage, spalling of external walls would occur after a building was completed for 1 or 2 decades. Now, even an ice skating rink that has only been in operation for less than 5 years and a supermarket that has just been open for 6 days are collapsing, indicating that the long-standing problem of Tofu-dreg construction has not only not been solved, but has even worsened. Australian current affairs commentator Commander believes that the lack of freedom of the press in China is also a deep-rooted factor in the persistence of similar incidents. In the past 2 years, Chinese officials have dealt with the problem of crumbling buildings across the country, with news of substandard quality and owner protests coming out of various places, but only through overseas self-media, silencing almost all of China's domestic public opinion. This environment of tightly blocked information is also the reason for the emergence of more safety hazards. Now that disclosing the truth has become a high-risk occupation in China, how can the society have a mechanism to correct mistakes when such an ironic thing happens? There is no one, no independent third party who dares to come forward to do justice and disclose the truth. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, or share it with your friends. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.